Welcome to my tutorial on how to download and install Malwarebytes, the free anti-malware software that you can download online 100% free. So the first step is to open up a web browser and to download the actual software. So what we're going to do is, my favorite web browser is Mozilla Firefox, so I'm going to go ahead and open Firefox. And I'm going to navigate my browser to Malwarebytes.com. You can also go to malwarebytes.org, and that's spelled malwarebytes.com or .org, either one. And you'll come to this page here, and what we're going to do is we're going to download the free version of the software, which is on the left here, the blue box. So go ahead and click download, and we're going to go ahead and save the file. So click Save File, and the download should only take a couple seconds because it's very small. So when we are completed downloading the file here, we're going to launch the file by double clicking, and you will get this dialog box that opens up and says Open File, and it's just a security warning, and you're going to go ahead and click Run. In Windows 7 and Windows Vista are both going to ask you, do you want to allow the following program to make changes to this computer? You can click yes at this point. If you're running Windows XP, you probably won't have that happen. And this next screen is just going to ask us what language we want to install the software in, and we want to install it in English, which is what comes up default. So go ahead and leave that at English and click OK. And that brings us to the Malwarebytes splash screen, and this is just the very beginning of the actual installation process. So we're just going to click Next at this screen, and then we're going to come to the license agreement. Now you can read through the agreement if you like. I usually just accept the agreements because they contain a lot of useless information, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and click I accept the agreement and click Next. And this is just a little bit about the version that we're installing, so you can just read that through that if you like, or you can just click Next. And this is asking us what destination do we want to install the software in. I always leave this at the default location, so you can just leave this the way it is and click Next. And then this is asking us how we want to save the shortcut, and we just want to leave that exactly how it is, the default. So go ahead and click Next again. And this is asking us if we want to create a desktop icon or a quick launch icon. I'm going to go ahead and leave this checked at Create Desktop Icon. Some people do like to have a quick launch icon in their taskbar, but I'm just going to leave this as a desktop icon. I don't like to clutter up my taskbar. So I'll just leave that checked and click Next. And this is just a rundown of all the settings that we've chosen here, so we're just going to click Install at this point. It's going to extract the files, put them where they need to be on the system, and then you're going to come to this final screen, and you want to make sure both of these are checked. Update Malwarebytes anti-malware, and you want to also check the Launch Malwarebytes anti-malware. Updating it is going to update it to the newest version in the definition database, so you want to make sure that's checked. And like I said, you also want to launch it right after if you want to immediately do a scan after we finish installing this. So go ahead and click Finish to complete the installation, and you will see that it's downloading the update right now. So it's updating the software to the most current version with the most current definitions. And you want to make sure you do this because you want to make sure you have the most current protection against threats, and that's what we're doing here. So it's 100% up to date. And you'll get a successful message here when it's finished downloading. Go ahead and click OK, and this program should launch since we had that checked earlier. And there we have the Malwarebytes anti-malware program launched. I'm going to minimize my browser screen so you can see it a little bit better. And it automatically puts us on the scanner tab here. And what we're going to do is just perform a quick scan, the first option. And that's pretty much sufficient for a basic scan. You can actually perform a full system scan, and that scans archived folders, and it's a more thorough scan. But for now, for the first scan, you can just leave it at perform quick scan. And at that point, we're just going to hit the scan button, and the software will begin the scan. It's going to tell you how many objects are scanning. It's going to tell you the elapsed time, and it's going to actually show you the files and folders that are being searched right now for malware. This could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes depending on how many files and how large your hard drive is. So one thing that will affect the length, like I said before, is if you do a thorough scan or a basic scan, and we chose basic so it won't take as long. You can also pause the scan if you want to pause it and surf the internet or whatnot, because this does slow your computer down a little bit since it's actually scanning through your hard drive. You can also abort the scan if you choose to totally abort the scan and come back later and rescan. One of the other things that you can look at up here is that you want to make sure you do is you want to update the software periodically. Right now I can't get into the update function because it's scanning. Actually, if I pause, we can probably get into there. But you can actually update the software by clicking the update tab here, and you click this check for updates. This is saying we currently have the latest database version because we immediately updated it during the installation process. If you saw before, that's what we did. So right now it's completely 100% up to date, but you'll want to check that every 2 weeks or so, or every month, just to make sure that you have the most current version. So mainly you'll be using the scanner tab and the update tab. The quarantine tab is going to show you if there's been threats in the past. When you quarantine them, it's going to show in this list here. And you can also permanently delete the threats as well. But we don't have any results at this point. And if you do have malware on your computer, after you scan, it's going to list all the malware in this dialog box here, and it's going to give you the option to remove it or quarantine it, and you can just quarantine the items, and it'll automatically quarantine them and save them in the quarantine box here. That's pretty much it for Malwarebytes. Hope you enjoyed it, and good luck.